Hello students, let's continue the topic. In the previous lecture we have discussed about the electric charge which is there on this conductor. The electric charge which is placed, you can consider Q on this conductor, will exhibit an electric field at any distance will be is equal to sigma by epsilon naught, right? Sigma by epsilon naught for one side. If you consider the both sides, when this side and this side, we are going to get sigma by 2 epsilon naught. It's like a plain sheet of charge, right? Now we will discuss more about this one, means some of the cases in this, how it will be. Let's see. For example, if you have taken the point outside here, outside of the conductor, point P1, then sigma by epsilon naught we are getting in this case. If you consider a point P2 inside of the conductor, then for this point we are going to get electric field is E is equals to sigma by simply epsilon naught won't be there, which is equals to 0 because it is inside conductor. It is inside conductor. That is the reason the electric field inside the conductor is equals to 0 and electric field outside the conductor due to this charged conducting sheet, charged conductors, one of the phase is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. Electric field is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. Okay, like this few cases, let's see now. Now we will see the example, that is, let's take two slabs like this. Here one slab I am going to give the positive charge on one side of surface charge density sigma, and this is an uncharged one. Okay, this one we have not given any type of charge, but as we are keeping this one near to a charged body, this one also will exhibit some distribution of charges. As the distribution of charges takes place, we are going to observe this type of distribution, means one side negative charges and another side positive charges. Because of these positive charges, negative charges will get accumulated just opposite to this face on this second slab, slab S1 and slab S2. Fine. Right, now let's consider the different points. One point P1 inside, one point P2 in the middle, and P3 here and P4 here. Like this we have considered now. Alright. Now because of P1, which is if you consider P1, point P1 which is inside the slab, it means a conductor. We already know inside the electric conductor electric E bar should be is equals to 0, right? At this position P2, according to that plane sheet derivation, we already know sigma by 2 epsilon naught electric field E is equals to, right? From there we can say directly that P2 will exhibit the electric field E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught for P2. Okay, what about P3? P3 obviously is equals to 0 because it is inside the slab. Okay, it is inside the slab. And what about P4? Right, if you see P4 here, positive charge is moving, positive charge is exhibiting the electric field in this manner. Right, it means it is in electric field at some distance from a conducting surface. Simply it will be is equals to sigma by epsilon naught E is equals to for point P4. Okay, inside here also sigma by 2 epsilon naught and outside also sigma by epsilon naught, right? Like this we can consider. Okay, this is nothing but a simple form of capacitor also we can say. In the next topic, after the completion of this lecture, in the next lecture we will start capacitors. There we will discuss more about such type of plane sheets placed at a distance. Okay, that is nothing but capacitor, which is used to store the electrical energy, right? Right, now let's discuss electrical potential energy of a charged sphere. It means how much amount of energy is stored in this spherical ball, which is insulating actually, because here the charge is formed by mixing of so many small different point masses. Okay, it means how much energy is stored by keeping all point charges at one particular location in this spherical shape. How much energy is required for that? Or it means we can say self energy also, or how much potential energy is there in this one, we are going to find out now. Right, for finding such thing, first of all we need to consider what is the total radius that it has formed is capital R. Right, from 0 to capital R it has formed. It means from 0 to small distance, or else 0 to small radius, how much energy it is required, and if you find that one, we can do some integration and we can find the whole, we can find for the whole. This method we are going to adopt to find the answer for this question. Right, let's consider the whole charge is capital Q and the radius of that charged ball is capital R. In that I am considering a small sphere, very small sphere, okay, negligibly small, whose charge is small q and whose radius is small r. Okay, to that one I have added some charge, very small negligible charge dq. After adding dq, its surface area increased and its volume also increased, its radius also increased. As the radius increases, surface area increases, volume increases, right? Because we are adding some charge, we are adding the charge, no, that is the reason. Yes, we have added the charge and it is increased from q to q plus dq, and its radius increased from r to r plus dr, and volume also increased to some extent. Right, this like that drs, if you continuously adding to this one, at particular stage it will reach capital R radius. That's it. That is the way, there we have to stop. For doing that work, how much energy we required, how much energy it is required, that is nothing but called as stored potential energy of that one. That is the thing. Right, now let's start with from this central part. Right, this small ball is there whose radius is smaller. Okay, first of all let's consider rho. What is rho? Rho is nothing but volumetric charge density or volume charge density. Rho is equals to capital Q by R. See here, density is not changing. It means density is constant each and every place. Okay, each and every place in the sphere. Okay, uniform density, that means Q by not R, Q by total volume V. That is equals to 3Q by 4 pi R cube. 4 by 3 pi r cube means volume. 3 we have shifted upwards. Right, alright. And now in the same manner, for small charge that we have considered, for that also q by volume v1 it will come. V1 means of that small charge volume, that is 4 by 3 pi small r cube. Like this we will get. And now the relation between capital Q and small q will be what? That is capital Q by capital R cube is equals to small q by small r cube. Small q is equals to capital Q into R cube by capital R cube is equals to Q. This is the one particular relation. Fine. And next we need to consider the increased charge dq. What is dq? We need to find dq. dq is equals to how much? Okay, before going to dq, again we will consider this one. Rho is equals to dq by dv will come. dq by dv, because as it is uniform charged density, as it is uniformly charged one, dq by dv is equals to rho, and q by v is equals to rho, and q by v1 is also equals to rho, because wherever you go the density will not change. That is the reason. That is now dq is equals to rho into dv. That is rho is equals to this one, we can consider 3q by 4 pi capital R cube. 3q by 4 pi capital R cube we can consider as rho. Alright, and next what is dV? dV means change in the volume. How much change we have got here? Here we are not considering the total volume of the R plus dr1. Okay, we are going to just consider only the change, this concentric sphere. If you are observing here, that concentric sphere's volume we want. But here we are not going to find the total volume of the sphere and we have to minus the inside one. No, we don't do such thing. Here we will think that this concentric sphere's volume is equals to the cuboid area. Cuboid area we have to consider here. Okay, how the cuboid area can be considered? Simple. See, this is a surface. Okay, with radius small r. Its surface area will be is equals to 4 pi small r square. 4 pi small r square will come. Alright, 4 pi r square into, and now, okay, 4 pi r square into how much distance it increased? dr. 4 pi r square into dr. 4 pi and 4 pi will get cancel each other. Now we are going to observe 3q small r square by capital R cube into dr, which is dq. We found dq like this. dq is equals to 3q r square by capital R cube into dr. Let's write this one here. 3q r square by 3q r square dr by capital R cube. This one is important for us. We will use this one in the next. Now we can remove this. Let's consider the potential. Okay, here we are discussing about potential energy. Then potential is necessary for us. Let's consider the potential of this small charge. Okay, small spherical charge. V is equals to, we know already potential formula, that is q by 4 pi epsilon naught into the distance, that is from center to here, the distance is smaller. 4 pi epsilon naught smaller, we know this one. Right, this q we have to change in the form of capital Q. How can we change? We have here the relation. This relation we can use this one. Q is equals to q r cube by capital R cube. Let's substitute that one here. Q small r cube divided by capital R cube into 4 pi epsilon naught into small r. Small r and also this one will get cancelled. R square will come. That's it. That is V is equals to Q r square by 4 pi epsilon naught r into, okay, r gets cancelled, no? Alright, r we can remove, r cube. That's it. This is the thing we got. These are the two equations we got now, which are very important to solve the problem. Alright, now let's consider the work done from increasing the radius r to r plus dr. Work done to give, or else work done to increase plus q charge to q plus dq. Means simply we are bringing a dq charge from infinity and we are adding to that. For that we need to do some work done, right? That work done we have to find. That is dw. E is equals to v into dq. We already know. Potential V is equals to work done by charge. Okay, work done by charge we already know. That one only, simply this. Now dw equals v dq. That is dw equals, just now we found v and dq values. Let's substitute them. That is q r square by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R cube into dq value. That is 3q r square dr divided by r cube. Fine. Now dw is equals to q and q square. Okay, 3q square, r square and r square, r power 4, dr will be dr 4 pi epsilon naught r cube and r cube r power 6 we got, right like this we got now. Now this is just dw, means a small work done for adding just dq charge, but we have to add so many dq charges, so many infinite number of dq charges to increase its radius from 0 to capital R. It means our limitations are 0 to capital R. It means if you do integration, we will get the answer. That is integration on both sides. And then now the limits will be w is equals to integral 0 to capital R are the limits. 3q square r power 4 dr divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r power 6 dr here. Alright. And now here what are the things which are common? We will bring them out. Common are constant terms, that is 3q square is a constant term divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r power 6. All these things are constant terms, that's why we are bringing them outside. R power 4 dr we got here. That is equals to, right, we got like this. And now we will do here upwards. Now w is equals to 3q square by 4 pi epsilon naught r power 6 into r power 4 integration will be r power 5 by 5. We know already this integration. 0 to capital R, that is w is equals to 3q square by 4 pi epsilon naught r power 6 into r power 5 divided by 5. 1 is 0, that's why we will neglect the term. Now here r power 5 and this one will get cancelled. Now the remaining thing is w is equals to 3q square by 4 5 was 20 pi epsilon naught r. This is the work done in forming the total sphere, in forming the total sphere, or else that work done itself stored in the form of potential energy. Okay, negative potential, if you keep a minus symbol there, that will be the potential energy of this electrical potential of this energy of this sphere. That's it. Alright, now let's discuss electrical potential energy of a thin charged shell. See, just before we have discussed about a charged sphere, solid sphere, okay, but this time we are going to discuss about a thin spherical shell, means which is there is nothing inside the shell, which is like empty, there is empty space inside the shell, okay, inside the sphere. Right, for that purpose, let's consider a shell whose radius is r, and on this surface of this shell so many infinite number of charges got placed equidistant from this center, right, and the distance is r only. Whatever the point you take on this shell, which will be same, okay, it will be r only to each and every point. That's why only we call that as a spherical shell. To form the spherical shell, what we have to do? We have to bring the charges from infinity and we have to arrange them around the sphere, around the Gaussian surface, around the imagined Gaussian spherical surface. That's it. That is the work that we have to do here. Alright. What will be the potential of that one? For example, if you have considered this total spherical shell, what will be its potential? V is equals to obviously Q by 4 pi epsilon naught in capital R. V is equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R. We know already this one. And next, dW we have to find. dW is nothing but work done in bringing a small point charge from infinity to here. Okay, that is V into dq, just before like in the previous case, right? V into dq, we found the value of V, and what will be called dq? See, dq is nothing here, simply one of the simple charge. It means the limits of dq is, see, in the starting there will be nothing, means no charge, zero charge, and in the final ending it will be having plus q charge. It means the limits are 0 to q. That's it, 0 to q are the limits. Now let's substitute in this equation. We are substituting V value here. V is equals to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r into dq, and integration on both sides if we do, here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will be taken common outside because this is a constant, and the limits are from 0 to q dq. We will keep here, okay, r is also there, r, that is equals to, now 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, r will be r only here. Next, integration of q, that will be q square by 2, and the limits are q to 0. This is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught r into q square is there, q square will become capital Q square by 2, that is 4 to 8. That will be W is equals to capital Q square by 8 pi epsilon naught r. That's it. This is the potential energy which is stored. Negative symbol is required to show the electric potential energy. Minus sign will be required in this. Okay, now let's discuss another small topic, earthing of a conductor. What is mean by earthing of a conductor? We know earth. See, earth is a big massive body, right? Being this is a massive body, it's a charged body also, but the charge is comparatively very less, which cannot be which is negligible charge value. It means for 1 square meter we are going to observe 1 nanocoulomb of charge only. 1 nanocoulomb of charge is very less. That's why we consider the charge of earth is completely zero. Means potential of earth. It means how much charge you give, it will be zero only. Whatever the charge you wanted to give, you give, but it will not become a charged body. Its potential always it keeps zero only. Okay, that is nothing but simply that concept is nothing but earthing of a conductor. It means if you consider any conductor like this, okay, and if you have given some charge to this one, plus q I have given, okay, if it is not connected to the earth, it will have plus q charge continuously forever. It will be having plus q charge forever. But whenever you connect this one to the earth, okay, this is nothing but earthing symbol. Okay, in circuits you are going to observe this one. Okay, earthing symbol, it represents the conductor is connected to the earth. Whenever you connect to the earth, the charges will move down. Whatever the charge, positive charge or negative charge, whatever it may be, the charges will go down and will become neutral body like earth. Okay. Now let's discuss earthing of the conductor by using another example. Let's consider a spherical surface like this, whose radius is capital R. Okay, and I am keeping here a positive charge plus q at the center of this sphere. Okay, alright, now because of this charge plus q, we are going to observe negative charges here inside the shell, and outside we are going to observe the positive charges. The whole outside we will observe the positive charges. As this is plus q, inside on the shell we are going to see minus q, and outside it will be of plus q. Plus q and minus q will get cancelled, and charge, net charge is 0 on the shell actually. Right, that is the thing will happen. Fine, but if you connect this one to the earth, whenever you connect this one to the earth, the net potential will become 0. The net potential of the whole system should become 0. That is the main thing here. We have to change, we have to remove the potential of the whole system. Let's find what is the potential of the system and we will make it 0. Fine. Let's see. Because of this charge at this point or at all points which are equidistant from the center, equidistant, and the distance is capital R, then the potential due to this point charge is equals to V1 equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R, positive charge, positive. Next, here these so many charges are there, means here minus q charge came. Because of that we are going to observe V2 minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught R we will get. Fine. And next, on the surface, on the surface V3 is equals to again plus q by 4 pi epsilon naught R we will get. Before connecting to the earth, the summation of these three will be is equals to V equals V1 plus V2 plus V3, and V2 and V3 will get cancel each other. V is equals to V1, that is q by 4 pi epsilon naught R will be the net potential before connecting to the earth. But after connecting to the earth, this charge and this potential will become 0. This potential will become 0. It means this one will become 0 when you connect it to the earth. When this will be 0, never epsilon naught, pi value, 4 value and R value will be 0, right? If they are 0, it will become infinity. If q is equal to 0, V is equal to 0, right? It means positive charges should become 0 on the shell. It means all the charges which are there on the outside of the shell will go into the earth. Will go into the earth. It means these all positive charges has to be removed simply. These positive charges we need to remove now. Right, now if you see here plus q minus q cancel each other and total potential is 0. That's what only connecting to the earth. That's it. Total potential is equals to 0. This is the thing is going to happen if you connect to the earth the whole system. Outside charges will become 0. Here outside or inside is not the matter. The matter is V should be is equals to 0. Total V of the whole system should be is equals to 0. It means if you want to charge any body, we can use this earthing method. It means, for example, this one only, we will keep some charge here at the center, okay, and we will connect to the earth. After that we will remove earthing and we will remove the central charge also. Immediately if you see minus q is the charge placed on this one. Now this one became the charged body. It means by using this method is called as conduction method also. We can induction method also we can say. It means we have induced some charge by using earthing method. Okay, we have induced the charge here by using earthing of a conductor concept. That's it. This is nothing but called earthing of a conductor. The main theme of earthing of conductor is the potential of the whole system should be is equals to 0. Okay, that's it. Okay, all right, now let's discuss some problems based on this Gauss law only, and today we will close the Gauss law and in the next class we will start capacitors. Right, let's see some problems. The question is given like this. We need to consider a semi-spherical bowl or hemispherical, means nothing but a bowl like structure. At this point we are placing a charge, positive charge plus q. Due to this charge, what will be the flux passing through this surface? We have to find this hemispherical surface. Flux we need to find out. Fine. We know what is flux formula. Flux is equals to integral E bar dot ds bar eds cos theta. EDS cos theta. Here cos theta is 90 degrees. No, not 90 degrees. 0 degrees. Because it is going radial outwards from this solid angle. Okay, here if you consider a solid angle, that one. Here EDS cos theta will come. That is simply integral EDS. Integral E ds phi is equals to. Alright. And E is a constant thing here. That's why we will keep E like this only. And integral ds we will keep. That is phi is equals to E into integral ds. Here integral ds represent the whole surface area of the given hemispherical bowl or hemispherical shape. See, actually the total surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. For hemispherical surface, according to the symmetry, it will be exactly half. It means 4 pi r square by 2, that is 2 pi r square. If you consider here radius small r, like this, small r square, E into 2 pi r square. This is the answer, fine. But E we have to eliminate and we have to say exactly in the form of Q, because here Q is there, no? That is the reason. What is E actually electric field? E is equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught according to Coulomb's law, r square. Let's substitute that one in this equation. That is Q into 2 pi r square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. We will keep r square and r square, pi and pi, 2 ones, 2 twos. That is Q by 2 epsilon naught is the flux value. Phi is equals to Q by 2 epsilon naught we are going to get. That's it. Right. And the next question is, they are asking, they are saying that there is a square face of a cube. Already we know what is cube. Square face of a cube they have given, whose side is A, and at a distance from the center A by 2, at a distance from its center A by 2, they have kept a point charge of plus Q charge. Now we have to find out what will be the flux passing through this square surface. Okay, this square surface, how much flux is passing through that one, we need to find out. Alright, now let's see, let's consider a total cube first. If you consider a total cube like this, if you keep exactly at the center positive charge plus Q, as this plus Q is surrounded by all the faces of the square, okay, equidistance from the central point, how much flux is going through one of the surface is equals to remaining all, right? In the same manner here also, this one will emit flux in all directions, but in one side of the square only it is observing, and remaining all it is going in remaining all sides it's going out. It means we just have to consider only the bottom area in this case. It means how much flux will be shared here. For example, total flux is phi. Total flux is phi, and it has to be shared equally by the six sides of the cube, that is pi by 6. It means pi by 6 is the flux passing through this particular square surface, pi by 6. Now if you see here, from here to here the distance is a by 2 they have given. Right, to solve this one easily, let's consider the before case problem. That is here a hemispherical surface I am taking. See, if you consider this one clearly, the charge is placed exactly at this position, and we got the answer, means through this surface means down bowl like structure, how much flux is going? Phi is equals to Q by 2 epsilon naught we got. If you consider the whole sphere, then we will get phi is equals to q by epsilon naught. Means for a complete sphere, phi is equals to q by epsilon naught. For half sphere, flux is also became half. In the same manner, whatever the shape it may be, whether it is a spherical shape or cuboid or cube, whatever, if you keep any charge inside the closed surface, okay, inside any closed volume, then it will come out radially only. It means because of this charge on all these 6 faces, the total flux will be phi is equals to q by epsilon naught only. Right, this is q by epsilon naught only. All right. But as it is exactly placed at the center, due to symmetry, this flux is going to be shared by each of the surface or each of the face of the cube equally. How many faces are there? 6 are there. Then flux will be shared like this for by each face, pi by 6, 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 and the remaining pi by 6. In the same manner, here also pi by 6 is going to be shared by the bottom face of this cube. Then it will be is equals to pi by 6. The answer is pi by 6. That is q by 6 epsilon naught simply. Q by 6 epsilon naught. Here, if you consider from this position, here that square will be, that circular surface area will be constructed in this manner. It means if you consider a cube, if you consider a sphere, in that one cube you have to imagine, and in that cube another small point charge we are keeping. Okay, if you consider the first half of this face, first half of the front face will be on the upper, which will be is equals to upper half, and the second half of this front face will be related to second half of that one. All right. It means this is not all about geometry. If you can understand this geometry, easily you can understand how this one came. This is simple. Q by 6 epsilon naught we are going to get here by using this. A sphere is there like this, and in that one square box we have taken, square box or cube, okay, or else in a circle if you consider a square like this, and if you cut in this manner, half of the flux will go down, half of the flux will go up, and in that half also this one is going to get some flux, this one is going to get some flux, and this one also is going to get some flux. How much this one got? Q by 6 epsilon naught this one got, and this one also will get q by 6 epsilon naught. Combinedly this half and this half will get q by 6 epsilon naught. This also same. It means only this part got how much? This part, only this part, how much it will get? Simply q by 12 epsilon naught, because this is half of this one, no? Half of this one is this. That is the reason. This one is going to get q by 12 epsilon naught, q by 12 epsilon naught, q by 6 epsilon naught. They both combined is equals to q by 2 epsilon naught. And this one if you add, q by epsilon naught, which will be is equals to the complete sphere. That's it. This is all about this problem. We'll discuss capacitors topic in the next lecture. Okay, that's all.